Hey everybody, it's Chris, and today I kind of want to revisit my butterfly series. In the past, I've done some butterfly canvases on little 4x12 canvases, and I purchased these cradled wood panels that are 5x15. I think these are going to work out really nice because then I'll be able to resin them as well. And I think that resin just adds another depth to the project that I just can't get with a varnish. So I've been doing a little bit of research and looking for some new images. And this is an image that popped up on Facebook for me. I am part of a group called View from Your Window, I believe it's called. And it's people from all over the world sharing pictures outside their own home or outside their car. This one happens to be from a gal that lives in Costa Rica. And I'm not sure that this is really a butterfly. I kind of wonder if it's not possibly a moth because the body is so much larger, but I just thought it was so beautiful. And so we're going to use the colors represented in, we're going to call it a butterfly. I just thought it was really an interesting and quite beautiful color combination. And of course it has some purples and a little bit of pink in it. And of course there's always that little sheen of metallic. So the colors that I have mixed up, I have this as kind of that little pinkish color that's in there. And this is kind of a custom color that I mixed with Amsterdam Caput Mortem Violet. And I mixed some white in with it along with the base for my pigments. I also mixed up some titanium buff because I feel like there's kind of beige aspects to it as well. I also have this little piggy ore, and it is gold, but I kind of feel like this area here is gold or like a light yellow. And I thought that might be a nice color to use. And then I also have some TLP enchantment. TLP is this little piggy. And then I have some black cell activator mixed up. So I'm gonna set this aside. And today I'm using the Sherwin-Williams Color to Go in extra white. And that's going to be the base of our painting. So as I said, I purchased these cradled wood panels off of the internet. And I will put, I believe they came from Rexart down in Florida. So they seem to have like the nicest price and the shipping wasn't too terribly bad. So that's where I purchased my cradled wood panels from. They have been primed with Zinsser Bullseye 123 primer, and then I did also tape them off. Now I did use the edge lock tape from 3M, and I taped onto the bottom as well as the very bottom of the canvas. So let me see if I can get this straightened out for you. And I'm trying a different camera angle, so please let me know if you like this. I actually have the camera over to the right of me. Generally I have it kind of in front of me and I have the arm over the project, but I'm hoping that this will kind of allow you to see a little bit better angle and maybe a little bit better detail. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some of this white down, and I want a nice base to kind of get the paints to move around. I don't want to get too much on there though, because if you get too much, then you're going to lose the beauty of the pigments. And I think I'm going to start with my little mixture, my little custom mixture here. I like to use paint bases as well as the different micas or pearlescent colors too. And the TLP are little mica pigments. So I feel like if I use a paint base along with those, it kind of makes them shine a little bit nicer. So there's a nice bit of that color. And then I think next we are going to do some of the ore. And I did just freshly mix these little guys up, but I like to stir just to make sure that I've got them mixed up nicely. This is one of my favorite colors that they just came out with. It is such a beautiful gold. There we go, a nice line of that down. And then next I think we're going to put down some of this titanium buff. I've never used kind of like a beige along with white before, so we'll see how this goes. I'm hoping that it gives us that same coloration as the butterfly. And then last but not least is Enchantment. This is another one that's kind of one of the newer colors, and it's just so beautiful. And I kind of want to lay this out in different ways. There we go. Now, if you've seen my other videos where I have tried to replicate the butterfly, I like to use my black cell activator and then swipe through to kind of create some movement and also to kind of give us that beautiful black webby effect that's in their wings. So I've got just a little plastic dish here along with my paint palette, and I'm just going to put some of my black cell activator onto the little plate, and then we will swipe through and see what we get. Now this is freshly mixed cell activator. So this is the Aussie Floetrol with the Amsterdam Oxide Black. And I will say that I kind of treated myself to the Aussie Floetrol, and oh my goodness, what a difference it makes. It really does give you some really beautiful results. Okay, so I am gonna pop bubbles on this real quickly. With this particular style, we do tend to get bubbles in the pigments. And if you don't pop those ahead of time, then you kind of get pits into the project. So just gonna pop those real quick. And because I did freshly mix them, that's another reason why I have bubbles too, but that's okay. Let's see what we get. So I'm just going to go ahead and dip into my cell activator. So I've got some cell activator on the back of this. And I think I want to swipe this way. And then I'm just gonna wipe that off. Look at those beautiful cells. I did kind of dip down into my paint, maybe a little bit too, with a little too much zeal perhaps, but I'm gonna go ahead and kind of swipe away this way. And I do try to go off of the edge. As you can see, I kind of went off of the edge here just to kind of give it a place to go. And I want to avoid having like parts of the paint right here, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm trying to swipe this so you guys are able to see it. My hand's shaking a little bit. Okay. Sorry if my hand's in the way. And I actually like, I really like this part even when it's just in the white because I feel like it still represents the butterfly's wings. So I don't mind that I've swiped through the white. And then we're gonna go ahead and go this way. And as you can see, I kind of like to wiggle it a little bit and give it a little bit of movement. I'll go ahead and do this little guy right here. And then I also have another thing that we might do a little bit of today with the end of a paintbrush. Okay, so hopefully I'm not going to be in your way, but I do want to swipe here. This is going to be a long swipe off the end. And kind of want to go right here. As well as right here. So some of this I do feel like will tip off, so I don't have a lot of, you can see I have a little bit of color here that doesn't have anything through it, but I think we're okay because it will get tipped. And the other thing that I wanted to try too was to take the end of a paintbrush, the very bottom of it here, and maybe create some little swirls throughout. So I think we'll do that right here. And perhaps right here. Kind of in these areas where maybe my swipe didn't go so great, but now we've got kind of a little more interest there. And this also creates a little bit of movement. Now I do have quite a bit of cell activator there, so let me see if I can blow that out. And I think do a little swirling through that, and perhaps right here. There we go. So you can see that we really have some nice cells with that Floetrol. And let me pick this up so you can see a little bit closer view. Some very nice cells. We even have some chameleon cells down here where we have several colors within the cells. So I'm going to move my little Dixie cups out of the way, and we're going to see if we can get this tilted. And hopefully I can keep this in view for you. So I think we're just going to kind of go off of one end and then move towards the other. Perhaps at a little bit of a diagonal so that we can get the paint moving. Kind of want it to go off this end down here. Just like that. And then while we're down here, I'm going to go ahead and tilt off of this corner. Trying to be careful because my table is right on the edge here, and I would just as soon not splat this on my carpet. Okay, so you can see this end is looking nice. Now we're just going to kind of work our way down here and stretch these guys out a bit. So I want to kind of get down here so that I can get this edge covered. And I'm going to go ahead and tilt off the side right here while I have the paint there. Just like so. So you can tell that it is moving slow, which is kind of what we want. We don't want so much paint on there that we're not able to tip it off. And we don't want to leave a huge amount on the canvas itself. I've got a little bit here that I need to take care of. But I'm going to go ahead and tilt it down and get this other edge covered right there. And then I think the rest of it will kind of take care of itself. So we got a little bit of white space, a little bit of negative space, which is just fine. I really love the swirls that I put into it because, as I said before, I do think it adds more movement to it. Just trying to gently get this off right here before we lose all the pretty stuff. And then I'm just going to go ahead. So I do have a lot of white right here. So I'm going to go ahead and stretch this back and see if we can get that covered. Let's see if I can get a better angle for you so you're able to see. And you can see as the light, I don't have my lights on overhead, but you can see with the light when it hits it, you can see the shimmer of those pigments, which is just so pretty. Okay. Just going to go ahead and move this down a little bit. And then we'll go ahead and even it out. You can see down here, I kind of got stretched out a little bit, which is fine. See if we can move him back down a little. And there we go. So that is very, very pretty. Okay, I'm going to see if I can show you some of the beautiful, I don't know that I'm going to get some really great shots for you here. I may have to just put this towards the end, just so that you can see this, but there she is with the whole thing. It's quite pretty. I love that black cell activator. And I think those are really beautiful colors compared to the photo that we started with. So I'm going to go ahead and take some close-up photos for you just because I don't think that the way that I have the camera angle, you're really going to see those very well. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some up-close photos at the end of the video. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching today, and I'll catch you next time. Please let me know if you liked the angle that I had the camera at today. Bye-bye.